It's time to also shift our focus to another developments that we are learning very closely at this point of time. Indian origin Canadian MP Chandra Arya has spoken on the concerns of the Hindus across Canada regarding the recent developments and in the view of the strained ties of India and Canada. Now, while focusing on this matter, he has said that Canada has long recognized the serious problem of the Khalistani violent extremism. Let's hear what he has said.
Namaste. I have heard concerns from Hindus across Canada regarding recent developments. As a Hindu member of parliament, I too have experienced these concerns firsthand. Last week, I could safely participate in a Hindu event in Edmonton only under the protection of RCMP officers as a group of Khalistani protesters staged a disruptive demonstration against me. In Canada, we have long recognized the serious problems of Khalistani violent extremism. Let me be clear, any actions or involvement by foreign state actors within Canada in any form are unacceptable. As Canadians, we do not wish for Canada to interfere in the domestic affairs of other countries. Likewise, we do not want foreign governments interfering in Canada's domestic matters, including those involving Khalistani extremism. This is a Canadian problem, and it is a duty of all levels of our government and our law enforcement agencies to address it. At Monday's press conference, RCMP Assistant Commissioner Brigette Govin confirmed that the National Task Force is focused on investigating Khalistani violent extremism among other threats. We know that extremism and terrorism don't recognize and are not limited to national borders.
All right, my colleague Brian joins me on the broadcast. Brian, now in the latest of the escalations that have in fact been troubled between India and Canada and the bilateral ties which are in fact now in a strained condition. What we have also heard is the Canadian MP Chandra Arya now speaking on the matter and raising the concerns of the Hindus residing in Canada, and in fact saying that right now Canada has a long recognized Khalistani extremism, only reinforcing what the MEA from long time has been also saying about the Justin Trudeau government. But it seems like that there are faults within the government which refuse to accept the reality. What is the latest that you are tracking as far as the statement is concerned?
Well, Simran, definitely Canadian MP Chandan Arya has expressed concerns shared by Hindus across Canada in response to the recent developments, and noted that as a Hindu MP, he too has experienced these concerns firsthand. And he also recounted last week that he could only attend a Hindu event in Edmonton under the protection of our RCMP officers as Khalistani protesters even staged a disruptive demonstrations against him. He also goes on to say that Canada has long acknowledged the serious threat posed by Khalistani violent extremism, and he also emphasized that any involvement or actions by foreign state actors within Canada are unacceptable, and added that as Canadians, they do not wish for Canada to interfere in other nations' domestic affairs, nor do they want any foreign governments interfering in Canada's internal affairs, particularly those involving Khalistani extremism. He also Simran, stressed that Khalistani extremism is a Canadian issue, and it is the responsibility of all levels of government and law enforcement to address it. And he cited that RCMP Assistant Commissioner Brigette Govin's confirmation at a Monday press conference also that the National Task Force is focused on investigating Khalistani violent extremism among other threats as well, and acknowledged that extremism and terrorism transcends borders. And regarding Khalistani extremism in Canada also, he stated that Canadians expect the federal government and its agencies to collaborate with other affected nations to protect Canadian citizens as well. Yes.
All right, Brian, thank you for sharing the latest now. Viewers, let's shift our focus to another important breaking